Today we'll be going over the final touches on the Redbeard Lifts DIY Power Rack cable system. We'll do the full assembly and also, finally, some testing. I'll treat the last section like a product review, and we'll be showing multiple configurations that demonstrate this system's functionality. A few of these are really cool in my opinion, since they show how creativity can go a long way in a home gym. After I had some time function testing the unit, I decided to hit it with a coat of paint. First, I sprayed it down with some primer and then smacked it with cherry red to match my motif. I also cleaned up the loading bar. It was a little shiny from sanding, and I wanted it to have a more uniform satin look, so I spent a little bit of time with my Scotch-Brite belt on my 2x72 belt grinder and blended it all buttery smooth. The assembly with this unit is no joke because there are a ton of fasteners and pieces. On the final assembly here, I added double washers on the non-nut side of the 1/2-inch hardware to better center it with the trolley. I also added nylocks to these fasteners to prevent them from ever backing off. A few people have asked me about these wheels, and I wanted to verbally note here that these are some 2-inch nylon wheels that I found on Amazon. I'm sure if you're looking for some better pricing, you could also find something like a skateboard wheel that can also work for this application. Once I get the rig up on the rack, I tighten down all of the 1/2-inch hardware just enough to be snug, but not enough to bind the wheels. I found that even with the bearings and the standoffs I used, the wheels would bind slightly if over tightened. So this is a little bit of a time-consuming turn and fit process with a little bit of iteration required to get that perfect fit. When installing the pulleys on the upper assembly, I also added some nylocks to these 10mm shafts. Like I mentioned in the last video, I was able to use the upper crossmember hardware on my Titan T3 Power Rack to affix this upper pulley assembly to the rack. For reference, these holes are 50mm center to center. I then connected the cable trolley carabiner and the upper assembly cable retention bushing that I 3D printed in the last video. On both sides of the trolley, I installed my 3D printed 3/4 of an inch thick plate protectors. These prevent my weight plates from contacting the 1/2-inch hardware and gave me an opportunity to add some cool customization with the Redbeard Lifts logo. The last thing to do with this assembly is to fine tune the loading bar pop pin. I want to screw it in just enough that I have good retention, but not so much that it contacts the loading bar when pushing it through the trolley. So we're going to start off our testing with the upper assembly, and then we'll work our way down to lower pulleys and things like that. At the start, let's figure out how much the carriage weighs. I have my trusty travel scale here that's good to the gram, or at least 10 grams. I'm going to go ahead and put it on this carabiner. I'm seeing a 0-pound tear, and then I'm just going to pull down, and it looks like I'm seeing about 11.2 pounds. Now it looks like it varies a little bit. So right here, it's about 10 pounds. So I think it will vary slightly depending on the amount of friction it's seeing on the upright. But I can say that this trolley, to make life easy, is around 10 pounds. First thing I'm gonna set up are some face pulls. It's a little high for that, but it will work. I picked up this strap on Amazon. It's handy for some tricep pushdowns or stuff like this where you're doing a face pull, but you can get yourself kind of based here and pull to the face. So this seems to work pretty good. You know, you can change the angle of your torso to get a different feel on this movement. You can even sit down and look up if you had a bench here and do some face pulls. Using the same setup, you can either use this strap or you can change it out for a more traditional rope attachment here and do some tricep pushdowns. So say you were shorter, like this tall maybe, and you reached up and grabbed these ropes and you would move it, you know, 1.5 feet before you'd actually start your movement. And that would result in the carriage hitting the top of the pulley system. So what you could do is you could add some length to this cable assembly. You can do that in a few ways. You can do that with carabiners kind of chained together or just a piece of chain. So an example, I'll just clip some carabiners on here. Give it another 6 inches or so. And now you have a much lower starting position and it won't get as high going towards the top pulley system. So it just really depends on how tall you are and how you set up your own system. This stop pin at the bottom will come into play a little bit more when we're doing things like lat pull downs. And we want the starting position of this black ball here or this cable stop being either lower or higher. Those are probably the two movements I do the most from the upper position. But note you can figure out all kinds of stuff to do with this. Like if you wanted to do a single arm tricep push down, you can set up something like this, seated, and really get some good isolation on your triceps or something like that. This actually works pretty good. In addition, if you want to do something like ab work, you can come in here, get down on the ground, hold on to the straps, and do your crunches. Alrighty, so now we're going to set up some lat pull downs. This is probably the most sought after configuration for a system like this because the lat pull downs are a corner piece of a lot of back days. When I first got this cable system in here, I was using one of these spotter arms down low and a bar under the spotter arm to hold my legs down. And I'll show some footage of that right here. And that worked pretty good, but it wasn't the most comfortable setup. Depending on the thickness of the bar and just the fact that it's not padded, made it not terribly comfortable. Also, it's hard to roll into that. The nice thing about some of the lat pull down leg attachments is that the rollers for your legs actually roll a little bit, and that allows you to kind of shimmy into the position easier than this bar method. So I was looking for a solution for this, and I found a lat leg holder from GetRx. And it was designed for a 2x2 rack with much smaller holes. What I did is decided to modify this unit. I cut off all of the pieces that wouldn't fit with my rack, extended it so that it would work with a 2x3 rack, and added a larger 5/8 piece of hardware as the pin on the top. This allows me to use their attachment, which has nice leg rollers and a nice pop pin to adjust the angle and height to my rack. So the setup here is I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I think I'm on spot 21 on my rack. The bottom pin does line up, but I need to use a 1/2 inch hitch pin. If I ever wanted this to not move as much and be a little more rigid, I would enlarge that hole to 5/8 because you can see this thing has a little bit of movement to it. So now that I got this guy down here, you can either go really wide and roll your way in, or you can go narrow, kind of pull yourself down into it, and now this leg holder is holding my legs down with this weight. So yeah, it's not perfect. It's got a little bit of movement, but it is solid. It's not going anywhere, and it was a good solution for my setup without having to build anything extreme. These are way more comfortable than the steel pipe I was using before, and less precarious as well, because the steel pipe, you have multiple components and you're putting the pipe down in between sets and stuff like that. It just felt a little precarious. So this is a much more professional option. So next thing we're going to do is set up the low row on this assembly. And to do that, I have these eye bolts that I found on Amazon that are M14 eye bolts that are over 3 inches long in the threads and are made out of stainless steel. This is a great addition to this system because you can move up and down on the upright where you want your cables and your pulleys to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy at the lowest position, which is number 7 on my rack. I never feel like I need to make these super tight. Just getting this connected securely and checking it often is good enough for me. But if you're going to make a permanent application here and you are never going to move this, you can get a nylock on the back so it never backs off. The other components you're going to need here is an additional cable of whatever length works with your system, a split pulley, and a carabiner. And a split pulley just allows you to take this pulley on and off this cable easily. The carabiner connects the split pulley to your eye bolt, and then obviously you connect your cable to your other cable so that you have one continuous length going to your trolley. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this guy up. So that's what it looks like on the bottom. And then up top, we're just going to connect up to our existing cable. Now you can see that we're a little bit elevated off of our stop pin. I normally don't like doing that because that's putting all the stress on the cable stops. And I don't think that's a big deal, but I normally like coming up just a little bit and having the bottom resting position sitting on one of these pins in the rack. So when I do rows with this system, I do sit on the ground. I think that you could rig this up in such a way to sit on a bench, but I find the ground is just fine. In addition, I'm using a 2x4 as my foot stop. If you were on a bench, you'd want to rig up something probably on the rack itself. This seems to work pretty good. One day I may try to make a better metal foot stop for this system, maybe even one that pushes me further back so I have a little more stretch to the pulley itself. Although I don't see that as being a problem the way I have it set up now. It's just a nicer solution than a 2x4. So once I get set up here, I push my leg straight, lean back, and you can see I have a good 6 inches before I even start pulling. If you like doing an exaggerated row, it could be a slight problem. So if you like going all the way forward and rolling over your shoulders and then pulling back, you get closer in that scenario. So just keep that in mind. I've been using it for the last month or so doing rows, and I've really liked having that in our gym. It's a nice feel and a just overall pleasant experience. Now with the low pulley down here, there's really all kinds of stuff we can do. You can do your bicep curls down here if you like to. I like doing an isolation one arm bicep curl with this low pulley using these bells of steel handles. These are fantastic, by the way, because they have a bearing on the handles and the knurling is nice. It's also a fairly thick handle and the price is right. So I ordered these once again off Amazon and I've been very pleased with them. So if you want to do some bicep curls, grab this guy here, stand to the side. Now, once again, with different heights, that could be a problem. Me being 6'3", I'm pulling about 5 inches of slack standing still. So if you're a shorter individual, you may need to figure out how to put this pulley system lower on your rack so that you have the slack required to get a good stretch on your movements. So one drawback of the system is that this carriage is fairly heavy at 10 pounds. And depending on your training level, that could be a problem for things like lateral raises. Also, the total length of cable that you're dealing with the lateral raise is a pretty big arc. So you may need to adjust the lengths in order to get a full lat raise on this machine. In my case, I need to add some length so that when I'm standing up, the cable is pretty close to this stop at the start of the movement. Otherwise, this trolley system will hit the very top of the pulley assembly. So I'm going to do that now. So by adding these additional carabiners, I'm able to get the pull started way higher. Also, positioning where you're standing can make a difference too. And if that's not working, you can change the main cable attached to your trolley system, bringing this whole thing down a little bit on your upright and giving you that additional 12 or so inches for your movement. So that's definitely a trial and error component of this system. Having some extra cables on hand at different footages could be very handy. You can really start getting creative with a low pulley. You can even do stuff like flies. So if you get oriented right, you can do some flies here, low flies at least. You can move this pulley point up to have a more central location on your rack. I was using this the other day to use the iron neck with this system. I would sit on the bench and have the eye bolt almost eye level on my rack, and it allowed me to have constant tension when using the iron neck. So I thought that was a useful application. I'm sure there's some other movements at that pull point that I can do, but that was the first one I thought of in the center of the rack. Also, using something like a spotter arm, you can get this pull point further out of the rack away from the trolley. So in some situations that could be handy. So I'll go ahead and set that up now. All right, so as you can see, we have our pull point further out from the system. It is a little high in this scenario, so you can't even really get a good bicep curl here unless you're using a straight bar. But a couple things you could do is you could turn this spotter arm upside down. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now the spotter arm is upside down and you can see that we got much lower with the pull point. You can do a full bicep curl, single arm, or you can get your other attachments out and do doubles. This is just kind of nice because it gets you further away from this moving trolley. And depending on the angle of pull you were looking for, this could be more advantageous. Also for things like lateral raises here, I like doing them further out from the rack. So I would set up an extension like we talked about earlier and do my lateral raises from here at this center location. Also, this has me thinking about setting up maybe one day a belt squat. So if I had a system like this that was much lower, maybe all the way at the bottom, and maybe with an integral pulley, I can turn this into a belt squat attachment for the cable system. So that definitely has my mind turning a little bit, but it's nice being able to do some creative stuff with the spotter arms and the cable system I feel like there's more here. I just haven't put all the pieces together on how else I can use it. All right, so big picture, I think we can wrap up this project. It's been a 3-part video series, so I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride with me. If y'all have any ideas for me on what other things I can do with this system, what other attachments or what other setups you think I would like to use, go ahead and drop that in the comment section below. Once again, the plans for this unit, the CAD files are all for free. I'm putting them in the description below, so if you want to build this unit or something like it, you have a place to start from. I also put all the things I use like hardware and wheels and even cable attachments in the description below in the form of affiliate links. If you use those, they help out the channel, so thank you for that. If you felt like you got something out of this video series, please consider subscribing to the channel. And until the next time, train hard.